Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Did Gigi really play Gucci Man's All White Bricks in the beginning of his video? The second I heard it come on, I was like, Gigi ain't ish. Gigi ain't ish. Shout out to Dr. Green Gorilla. Um, Funny, right? Who said our academics can't make jokes? Funny, right? Absolutely funny. I saw he was gonna play OJ the Juice Man afterward. I swear he was gonna play. I was waiting for the OJ the Juice Man half a sack. I was waiting. Oh, make the trap say, "Hey, that's the actual real name." But yeah, I promise you, I thought that's what he was gonna play next. But absolutely hysterical, right? Shout out to Dr. Green Gorilla. Academics, man, right? So we're gonna be covering a clip, and if you guys want to check it out, it's on Angry Man's channel. The actual portion of the clip we're going to be covering is about 20 seconds long ish, something like that. Yeah, something along those lines, right? Shout out to Angry Man. Angry Man, one of the first videos I ever reviewed doing a live was an Angry Man clip or an Angry Man video. This was over a year ago at this point, I want to say. So it's good to be back here. Shout out to Angry Man. And yes, Angry Man, you are absolutely 100% correct. We do not owe this young lady an explanation, but I will offer her one anyway, right? I'm going to offer her one anyway. So first, let's kind of frame this. The shaming framing will not work on black men any longer. So if you see the way the young lady, her tone and the way she was speaking, right, that the framing it, right, framing it like, you little petty men, you little petty black men won't protect us, right? Oh, y'all are being so petty, you little kids. Now, she's making it seem like we're the petulant children, dear black men, dear black manosphere, right? Dear black men, dear black manosphere. This young lady is framing this as if black men are being the children here, the petulant children, right? She frames this in a very shaming tone. Her tone is shaming, right? The part I want to focus on is she starts off the beginning like, if we're not having sex with you type thing, or if we're not related to you, if you don't find us attractive, right? But that's neither here nor there. That's not the part. The part is, as she continues, right? If we black men don't find you black women polite enough or kind enough, right? So this is the part I want to focus on. What she was saying was, if you black men don't find us black women polite enough or kind enough, etc., then our lives aren't worth protecting, right? You hear that framing? First, let's go through the definition of worth. The object is equivalent in value to the sum or item specified, right? So just equivalent in value, right? Worth. The noun, now this is when it gets interesting. The noun for worth is the value equivalent to that of someone or something under consideration, the level at which someone or something deserves to be valued or rated. Now we get into the conversation of, ma'am, are you saying your life is inherently more, quote unquote, worthy? You're more worthy than black men? That black men should be willing to put their life on the line for protecting you and your life? Uh-oh. Are you saying that your life is inherently worth more than my life as a black man? And that I should be willing to put my life on the line for your life? And if you are, then come out and say it. Right? We're covering social contract today. We're covering why people do the things they do in a community, in a society. We're speaking about why black men should be willing to put their life on the line for black women who, over the past few decades, have made it very clear not only do they not want us there, not even just romantically. That's very interesting where she went. Screw romantically. No, 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 no. Not only do I not need no man, black men are trash. Men are trash. Black men are failed patriarchs. Huh. You know what's protecting up that screams patriarchy. Uh-oh. You know, the bigger, stronger man, you know, with 20% more muscle mass, etc., putting his life on the line to protect you. And let's be very clear. If a man is being violent towards you, ma'am, it's possible that he'll be violent towards the man that's protecting you. So this, you know, man that you're speaking about is putting his life on the line to protect you. That screams patriarchy. You know, the thing that black women have been saying that they don't want from black men for the past few decades, until they try to gaslight us and, you know, compare us to white men because of our failed patriarchy, etc., right? Patriarchy. Huh. Right? Are you saying, ma'am, that your life is inherently more important, valuable, and worthy of protecting? Right? Because I may be putting my life on the line protecting you in your life. Ma'am, what I am getting at here is, yes, black men don't owe mean, condescending, snarky, sassy, belittling, insulting black women protection. Black men don't owe black women that. Black men do not owe black women that. In a community where we understand that we have each other's back and there's for a reason, it's a collective uplift. We're looking out for each other. No one has spent the past 4 and 5 decades bad mouthing the other sex, the other gender, because they mad they're not a white woman. Uh-oh. And because liberal white women have left a bag out for them if they throw black men under the bus. When you spend decades defecating on the social contract, you can't come back and say, well, why aren't you upholding your part of the social contract? Uh-oh. Right? And to the question of, is that the precedent that black men are setting? The precedent has already been set by black women. Uh-oh. The precedent has already been set by BLM. You know, that old mission statement where they poo-pooed or they played down, you know, nuclear black families that would probably be headed up by black heterosexual straight men. That part. The precedent has already been set by the Kim Fosters, who said they're not attending any protest for black men until black men do what women like Kim Foster think that black men should do, until we comport ourselves in a way that this inferiority complex little short troll thinks that we should. This supposed 7.2. Oh, yeah, that's it. Right? Everything from feminists, black feminists, and their black male lackeys comparing black men to white supremacists Go check the articles for that one, right? To women like Cynthia G and Tanya TKO advocating for black women to abort black male babies, right? To women like Chrissy speaking about black men like black men are these colorist Nazis, to women like Paris Malone speaking about black men like black men are preying on every prepubescent or underage black girl, to Real Talk with Yanni saying, essentially, I got money, nigga. Don't even come over here until you can buy me. Right? What's the incentive? I want to be a kept woman. I want to live a life of leisure. Yes, ma'am. Black men don't owe women that speak like that about them protection. Quote unquote protection. It's really vengeance you're looking for. Protection is a preventative measure. Protection is your boyfriend or your husband or your father or your older brother telling you don't wear that going out. Protection isn't what he does after you wear it anyway and someone harasses you or assaults you. That's not protection. What you're asking him to do after the fact is an act of vengeance. Just FYI, by the way. Dear young lady, this is what black men's absence feels like. You know? We speak about black men in the black community. Like if we were to Thanos snap black men out of the black community tomorrow, black women would be perfectly okay. Actually, they would be better than okay. They would actually be doing better in life, in this society, if we Thanos snap black men out of America. And look at this young lady now. Just reading certain comments and feeling like black men are like, yeah, we're not doing this. We're not putting our lives on the line for these people. Now she attempts to frame this in a shaming tone. She attempts to shame black men into what? Quote unquote protecting some of the meanest, sassiest, snarkiest group of women in these America. Right? The question, ma'am, is what threat can black women levy that they haven't already done or aren't doing? Uh-oh. What? Threaten not to protest for our lives? We already have that. Threaten to turn our death, our blood, you want to talk about BLM, our blood, our lives, our memories into fuel for movements that have nothing to do with the straight black men that are being murdered by the cops? Y'all already doing that. Right? Threaten to advocate for aborting black male babies? Y'all already doing that. Right? What exactly can women like you, ma'am, levy as a threat that's not already being done? Go around America and around the world speaking ill of black men? Y'all already doing that. Mock black men in their deaths? Y'all already doing that. Dance on black men's graves? Y'all already doing that. Right? Speak about black men. You want to talk about worth? Boil black men down to overglorified guard dogs. That's the protecting part you're talking about. And overglorified wallets. Excuse me. Overglorified guard dogs and walking wallets. You want to talk about worth? So, what threat can black women actually levy to force the issue that black women aren't already doing? What's the punishment? Uh-oh. What's the punishment? Right? Going into academia and intellectualizing black misandry? Already doing that. right? What's the threat here, right? Insulting black men in the presence of non-black men in hopes that one of these non-black men will wife you up, already doing that, right? What's the threat here? Speaking of black men like they couldn't possibly know what they're talking about, even when they're your senior by age, your intellectual superior, your educational superior, and still speaking to them like they're boys. Y'all already doing that. I would like to direct you to Kevin Samuel's videos for that one. 23-year-olds speaking to this man like they're his intellectual superior. 23-year-old women. Huh. What's the threat? And the way you framed it, it's very interesting to dismiss what another person finds value in when you are trying to get them to do something. Oh, you care about that little thing? You care about the fact that I just was disrespectful to you a block ago, but now this block I need your help because this white cop is harassing me? Oh, you're so petty. You're not going to stand here and say something or do something? How petty, right? So what if I was just snarky and condescending and mean to you in class? So what if I just said something belittling to you at work 5 minutes ago? So what? Why are you being so petty? So you're not going to protect me because I was mean? Because I was snarky? Because I was disrespectful? Because I was belittling? Because I spoke about how great white men are in your presence on purpose? Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks, right? On purpose to hurt your little feelings, right? How petty of you to care about something so small. Very interesting how you frame that. She literally said, because we're not polite. Wait a minute. You think you could be mean and expect someone to jump out the window for you? Wow. The ovaries. The ovaries. Right? Because we're not kind enough, because we're not polite enough. She literally said that and didn't see that as a problem. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you don't get to be mean and condescending and expect me to put my life on the line for you. Yes, that's exactly what we're saying. Yes, we don't owe you explanation. Shout out to Angry Man, but I'm going to offer it anyway. Oh, and by the way, this is a form of protection. Me suggesting to you that maybe not being the snarkiest, meanest, condescending a-hole you can possibly be would be good for your health and your life and your well-being, because breaking a smile, right, cracking a smile, being a little bit nice, right, not being the meanest person in the world to black men, they might pay it forward, and when you're in a situation that might look out. So yes, young lady, black men don't owe you that. Ma'am, no one owes you that, especially in this society. There's the police. In different cities, they have the emergency people that are not police that kind of, help the police out. They take off the load off of, the smaller situations that might be going on in a city. You have all the paramedics, police officers, firefighters, right? No other man talks like this. Are you sure about that? There's a whole lot of women that's getting groped on Japanese trains and ain't nobody say nothing. Are you sure about that? Women in India are getting acid thrown in their face for turning men down. Are you sure about that? Right? Protecting. And with that, black men still protect black women. Even with all of that, even though black men don't owe black women that, I'm not saying black men shouldn't. That's not the argument here. I'm saying black men don't owe black women that. Not after decades of defecating on black men and then shaming black men into defending themselves, from women like you. I wonder if she was at a table, lunch break, with a bunch of homegirls, and one of them just coming out the mouth, all type of crazy about black men and how this man is better and these men are better. And I wonder if she would say something, because saying something would be protecting the image of black men. I wonder if she would say something. I put money she wouldn't. I'm willing to bet she wouldn't. You want to talk about protecting? How many black women stand by and watch as their homegirls rip black men to shreds? Not their individual man, black men writ large. MEN, not MAN. Right? Yeah. Black men don't owe you that, young lady. No, they do not. Black men don't owe black women that. Men don't owe women that. Not after decades of women essentially telling men, F you, putting the biggest middle finger y'all could possibly put up. No. All that I could do bad all by myself. Okay, let's see. All that I don't need no man. Okay, let's see. All that men are trash. Okay, let's see. All that black men are the white supremacists of the black community. Okay, let's see. Let's let black men practice the benign neglect, and let's see how that works out for black women. Y'all already doing that. Okay, let's see. If we're already doing that, then you shouldn't feel when we start, because we already started. I'm not saying that any of these things are correct or right. I'm not saying that this is sustainable. I'm not saying that this is the way a community should work or operate. I'm not saying any of that. This is not sustainable. This is not how you continue a community. This is not how you uplift the community. This is not how you maintain a society. This is not good for the 12 or so percent of black Americans. I'm not saying that it is. I'm saying that black women helped to get us here. I'm saying that this is what happens when black men also let go of their side of the social contract. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you don't get to shame black men after black women defecated and urinated on the social contract for the past, at the least, 5 decades. At the least. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that this is the way it should be. I'm saying this is the way it is. Right? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying this is the way it is. Unfortunately. But it's been unfortunate for black men for a very long time. Right? I'm saying that going around the world, going around America, and going on to every talk show you could anywhere, white men or white women were willing to give black women a microphone and speaking about black men so ill, so wrong. I'm saying that's what defecating on the social contract and not protecting black men's image, well, this is the other side of that, right? You don't get to tell black men what we find worthy. Go talk to white men and see, oh, goddamn, those are the same ones that's really practicing the colorism and the racism and the European beauty standard. Uh-oh. Go talk to the Latino. Oh, goddamn, you want to talk about colorism? Ugh. And not valuing African physical features. Ugh. Go talk to the, oh, wait, no, not the Asians. Can't do that either. Not the Middle Easterners. They're the worst. Oh, well, I guess black men are your best bet for the quote unquote worthy, right? Maybe the South Asian. Ooh, not the South Asians. Ugh. Want to talk about colorism? Want to talk about worth? Want to talk about treating women poorly? Huh. Well, yes, ma'am. Black men don't owe you that. And in this advanced society, quote unquote, advanced society, advanced economy, the state may owe you that. And wait a minute, didn't talk about precedent. Didn't New York, and what state was it before? Was it Ohio? Already set a precedent that the police don't owe you protection? Uh-oh. Didn't they come down on a ruling with that? Because a man was sued. Excuse me, not a man was sued. One of the New York police departments was sued by a man because he was stabbed by a kind of a wayward guy on the train, and the police were already knew, and they were already hunting the guy down. They were in the next car. They were supposed to tackle him, and they watched as he stabbed the other guy, and the other guy had to fight him off and subdue him. And when the guy sued the police department in New York, the police department said, yeah, we don't actually owe you that. So if the police department don't owe you that, uh-oh. Maybe you should be a little nicer to black men, dear young lady. And maybe you should encourage your sister to be nicer to black men also. Uh-oh. Right. So yes, being polite and kind might save your life. Yes. Yes, that is what we're saying. Yeah, Angry Man, we don't owe her an explanation. You are absolutely correct. Mr. Z is offering one anyway. Yeah, being kind and polite may save your life. Yeah, you don't get to practice negative liberty the way you think and feel white women do. Uh-oh. Yeah, you don't get to be mean and snarky and condescending and then expect black men to save you 5 minutes later. Yes. Now what? Right? Yeah, now what? You don't get to rip to shreds the social contract and then try to uphold it when you feel in danger or when you feel fear. When you need someone to help you lift this heavy box up the stairs to your apartment. You don't get to play 1 foot in and 1 foot out. No, ma'am. Dear black women, nope. And to hell with what Steve Harvey got to say. And to hell with what Willie D got to say. Oh no, y'all don't get to raise the most spoiled, entitled, condescending, mean, belittling, snarky women ever as daughters and then expect your sons to do for them just because. Well, that's a woman, and I want to be very clear. I put the qualifiers on it on purpose. We're not talking about someone, the kind girl The around the way young lady, she's nice to everyone. She waves hi to everyone in the morning. We watched her grow up, right? Sell you Girl Scout cookies, got the nicest. We're not talking about her. She go off to college. Every time she come back in town, she wave hi when she passing by. We're not talking about your kind next door neighbor. No, we're talking about all the others. The little mean brat that live around the way. The one that turn her nose up. You know, the one that when you say good morning to her, she pretend like she don't hear you. That's who we're speaking about, right? That's who we're speaking about. So no, black men don't owe you literally putting their life on the line to quote unquote protect you and other black women after decades of defecating on black men. Right? To hell with very smart brothers. To hell with what Dr. Umar talking about. To hell with all of that. Y'all wanted equality. Dear ladies, you should have read the fine print. And nice try, because you know they're gonna do it, trying to throw white men and black men's faces. Nice try. These are the same men that's repealing all of these things that's supposed to benefit women. Nice try. Right? Right? Thank you, grab second. You're antisocial but want protection from society. These are the same people that tell you I ain't friendly. 5 minutes later, why you didn't say anything? You saw that man at the bus stop harassing me. You didn't even say anything. You just looked and kept walking. Hmm. How do you not want to uphold your side of the social contract, which entails protecting the image of black men? You know, not speaking ill of black men in polite company. See, when Chrissy's going in on black men, y'all know where to be found. When Yanni's going in on black men, y'all know where to be found. When Paris is dancing on black men's graves, y'all know where to be found. When Cynthia G is advocating for aborting black male babies, y'all know where to be found. When Kim Foster is speaking ill of black men but tries to intellectualize it, y'all know where to be found. When Crystalline Kerrison has spent a couple decades at this point speaking ill of black men and comparing black men to, Almighty God, the white man, y'all know where to be found. Ma'am, your ideological elders are nowhere to be found when Terry McMillan and Bell Hooks and all the rest, Alice Walker, all these people, your ideological elders are nowhere to be found, ma'am. But the second a wayward black man, any white or Latino man, flexes anything, makes you feel fearful, actually does something to you, now black men are supposed to somehow magically appear. Da, 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 I'll save you. When Chad Wheeler pummels you, knocks you out, you come to, and he says, "Oh, I thought you were dead." What, black men were supposed to what? Parachute through the ceiling and stop Chad Wheeler's fist midair? That's the way it's supposed to go, right? Huh. That's the way it's supposed to go, right? Dear black women, I want to be so blatantly clear. I don't want to leave any room for interpretation. You don't get to go around the world insulting, belittling black men and then expect those same black men to put their lives on the life, excuse me, to put their life on the line for you. You could try to get all black men to shame these black men, these young black men. You could attempt to get Steve Harvey to shame them, it won't work. Dr. Umar to shame them, it won't work. FD Signifier to shame them, it won't work. To hell with all of those Negroes and what they talking about. Is this right? No, it is not. And is this the way it should be? Absolutely not. This is not sustainable. So what? Both parties have to engage in this. Not one when an emergency comes. I know it's just insulting you and belittling you and insulting your masculinity or telling you don't have masculinity or calling you a boy or calling you a slave. I know I just was saying that 5 minutes ago, but I need your help right now. Please, God, please help me. Right? Save me from my boyfriend. Save me from this white man. Save me from this Asian or Latino man. Save me from myself. Uh-oh. Shout out to Yanni in her mental state and Stefco in her mental state. I said it. Chrissy in her mental state. I said it. Cynthia G, oh my God, y'all have fun with that one. In her mental state. I said it. Ebony K. Williams in her mental state. I said it. Kim Foster is still wrong as two left shoes, but guess what? She glowing because she got somebody for now. Right? Hmm. You don't get to defecate on the social contract. So yeah, the fact that you said so let me go over this again. The fact that you said so because we're not kind enough and polite enough that our lives aren't worth protecting. The fact that you didn't find the irony in you say, whoa, whoa, I'm almost losing my breath. You said that unironically. You weren't being sarcastic. You weren't being funny. You were being serious, like dead serious. You literally said, because we're not polite and kind to you, that means our lives are not worth protecting. I'm going to just let that sit right there. I'm going to be quiet for a second. Let's just let that one sit. You're asking men to put their lives on the line to potentially let's get gory with it, to potentially get shot, get stomped out unconscious, get stabbed, get murdered, protecting your honor as a woman he doesn't even know. And you're saying you won't even be kind. You're making it seem, you're framing this as you being kind, cracking a smile, being polite is on the same level as this random man's life. this random man's life. The fact that you said that so flippantly, as if black men are the ones being petty. Let me say it again. Just because I was mean and condescending, you're not going to protect me? Let me say what you're saying differently. Let's just frame it a little different. Same sentiment, just framed a little different. Just because I was mean and condescending, you're not going to protect me? Just because I was belittling, just because I was snarky for no reason, just because I unwarranted sass, you're not going to protect me? You're not going to protect black women? Just because we get off, and I say this often, getting off, right? Let's say it. Just because I'm aroused by defecating on you, just because I'm aroused by belittling the image of black men, you're not going to protect me? You're not going to protect other black women? How petty of you. Ma'am, that's exactly what you said, framed differently. In other words, said differently. You didn't use those words, but that's what you said. And you said it with your chest out. With all the bravado and the gusto in the world. You really attempted to frame this in shaming language. You attempted to use shaming language, a shaming posture. Because black men who see you and other black women like you, ma'am, as impolite and as unkind, those black men aren't so reticent to put their lives on the line in quote unquote protecting you. And you thought you ate. You thought you said something. Imagine. You thought you said something. You literally said everything else you said. Oh, because because you don't find us attractive, or because we're not part of your family. Yawn. Stop. You said the real towards the end of that statement. Because we're not kind, and because we're not polite. And there you go. Let the truth come out. Let the truth come out. Because I'm mean and I'm condescending and I'm belittling and I'm an asshole, you're not gonna protect me? As I said before, it all comes down to negative liberty. It really all comes down to the white man's penis, but that's neither here nor there for this conversation. Because the way these women see it, white women get to be mean and snarky and assholes, and white men have created this entire system to protect them. Why can't I be mean and snarky and condescending and elitist? And why can't I just be an asshole and you still protect me because it's your job, because you're a man? Huh. And Broken Blade says, and thank you for the super chat, speak on it. The most thankless job in the country is to try to save black women from their own lunacy. Oh, but they're not, though. They're not lunatics. It's you, black man. Don't you get it? Don't you appreciate your job? Right? Don't you get it, Broken Blade? You're the lunatic. You're the one. You and other black men, including Z, including myself. It doesn't matter that black women defecated on the social contract. It doesn't matter that they throw black men under the bus every chance they get. It doesn't matter that you have supposedly heterosexual black women listening to openly, admittedly LGBTQ black women such as Princella, excuse me, and say, she telling the truth. It doesn't matter that they let rhetoric like hers filter into their mind and then treat you wrongly because they have her worldview, and then turn around and still expect you to come to their aid in a time of need. You're the lunatic, not them. They're on the right side of history, not you. Not you, not me, and not other black men. These are the people that have run around this entire community and this entire country on blowhorns, speaking negatively about black men, speaking negatively of black men. And one video of a supposed assault and other black men not jumping to this woman's aid, if the story is to be believed. Once again, y'all remember my video from yesterday. If this story is to be believed, one video of a black woman being assaulted and other black men watching, and once again, we don't even see that happening, but okay. Got this young lady so shook. What? We're not worth protecting? Well, maybe not. It's up to the man that's there at the time. It's up to the man that's present. Is he willing to put himself in harm's way to quote unquote protect you? A woman that 5 minutes before you were in the situation, you would have been looking down your nose at that man. Right? Y'all ever see the video clips of the man, and it's a couple of them, of a man trying to tell a young lady like, "Oh, hey, your tire's flat," or "Hey, you got something going on with your car," and she's so busy trying to like dismiss him because she thinks he's trying to holler at her or something like that, talk to her in that type of way, that when she finally realizes what he's saying, oh, could you help me? And he's like, no. Have y'all seen those type of videos? I've seen them. Right. Hey, you have a leave me alone. Right. I'm just trying to tell you, you got a flat tire. Oh, I have a flat tire. Oh, could you help me? No. Do you have a car jack? No. Right. Ooh, Broken Blade. And Broken Blade says, take it further. Just because we laugh at black men's death, you won't protect us? Exactly. Right? Because what Kevin Samuels engaged in was sacrilegious. He put a microphone and a camera up, and black women called in looking for a baller man, defecating on every man they deemed that wasn't rich enough. And he got it on wax. He got it on camera. And that is deserving of these women dancing on his grave. Urinating on his grave, if we really want to be honest. And the women that called in and said, Average, who want to be with Average anyway? No, there's nothing wrong with that. Those women need to be protected by the same Average man that she's like turning her nose up at and say, ugh, who wants to be with Average anyway? Those same women deserve protecting by those same black men, right? Just because I don't want to be with you, okay, fine. You know what? There's nothing wrong with that. I actually agree that, okay, you don't find me sexually attractive. That doesn't mean that your life is not worth protecting. No. It goes further than that. It's the disgust, right? It's the rhetoric. It's the feeling. Dear black women, knock knock, who's there? Black men have feelings too. That's who's there. God damn, Mr. Z. The 23-year-old that just disrespected Kevin Samuels, yeah, she deserved protecting from that same Kevin, right? The 20-something-year-old that's thinking about breaking up with her boyfriend because he doesn't earn enough. She deserved protecting from black men in general, right? If she think like that about her own boyfriend, who's in his 20s earning $75,000 a year, which is more than like two-thirds of men will ever make in America. I didn't say black men, I said men. She deserves protecting from the same black men that earn even less than her black boyfriend, right? She didn't say she leaving him for any other reason than he doesn't earn enough in his 20s earning $75,000 a year. Detroit, good point. Stephon Clark out of California, what, out of the Bay Area, I think, because he was with an Asian woman. They mocked him. They made fun of him. Terry Nichols mocked him and made fun of him. There's a comment he made almost a decade before his death. Right? Huh. Protection. Worth. Huh. These women will insult you and belittle you and be mean and spread rumors and attempt to destroy your image and then find themselves in a situation and then attempt to shame you into quote unquote protecting them. This young lady literally tried to shame men by saying, because we're not being polite and because we're not being kind, that means we don't deserve protection. Where in the world do you think you would say that and the men would look at you like, yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right, we're wrong. You should be able to be mean and snarky and condescending and belittling, and we still come to your aid in a time of need. You're right. Where on the planet do you think you're going to find these men? Especially one that's not pandering. Where? Like 200 countries on the planet. Where you think you're going to find these men? Right? Tens of thousands of different tribes, if not hundreds. Where do you think you're going to find these men? Right? 50 states in America. Where do you think you're going to find these men? Where? Where are the men that you would say exactly what you said? Wait, because we're unkind and we're unpolite, we're not polite and we're not kind, we don't deserve protecting. Where do you think you can say that? And the men wouldn't laugh you out the room. Where? You know where? The black American community. That's where you can say that and the men wouldn't laugh you out the room. And that's why you said it. Right? And Kevin C says, and thank you for the super chat, hashtag Brickgate exposed women's selfishness and entitlement in demanding men slash black men to risk injury slash loss of life while women refuse to fulfill their roles. And this is exactly what I'm saying, Kev. This is exactly what I'm saying. And shout out to Kevin C. Thank you for the super chat. That's exactly my point. Thank you, Season Life. The utter entitlement. The entitlement knows no bounds. They're making comments like, wait a minute, Leslie, Mr. Z got to focus on this because this is everything. Because we're unkind and impolite, excuse me, impolite and unkind. I think she said impolite. She said polite first. So because we're not polite and we're not kind or we're unkind, that means we don't deserve protecting. And she didn't say that ironically. She wasn't trying to be funny or sarcastic. She was dead ass serious. Now, the beginning of her statement was, "Oh, because you don't find it attractive, or because we're not part of your family, or et cetera, et cetera." You know, but towards the end of that statement, that's it right there. That's the sweet spot because that's what she really meant, right? Hmm. Did y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat? Huh? You meant that. You said it and you meant it, right? Once again, shout out to Angry Man. And as I said before, are you saying that your life as a woman is inherently more important, more valuable, and worthy of protecting than my life as a black man? Right? Is that what you're saying? Right? And framing this in shaming language, what was that supposed to accomplish? Oh yeah, Detroit. And Detroit says, look at Lauren Smith Fields where she's bashing black men, shared the on Twitter, shared the I tried my best with you coloreds on Facebook. I thought it was Twitter, but okay. Um yeah, I tried my best with you colors on Facebook and look how most black women ignored it by the context. And there you go. Right? And there you go. Many of them were quiet on that one, right? Trail playing the clip that in his mind that Obsidian plays all the time, right? This is this is borderline like bordering on some type of like lightweight insanity, right? Because how do you not appreciate your position in a society that much? What you contribute or don't contribute in a community that much, where you literally would say something like this. You don't value these people. You don't value these people at all, but you attempt to shame them into playing a role that you told them they weren't even good at. And ma'am, not you maybe individually, but black women writ large. Maybe you haven't been privy to much of the conversation that's been going on in the black community over the past 50, 60 years, and that have been going on the internet for the past maybe 15 or so years. Maybe you haven't been privy to it, but there's a whole lot of black men are the white supremacists of the black community type talk coming from black women, right? To the point where we spent a couple days mocking these people with The Roots article hashtag, right? There's a whole lot of articles and videos that have went viral and news segments that have went viral of black women speaking about black men like black men never show up for them. Black men are losers. Black men are not on their level. Where can I go find me a non-black man because I can't meet the black men that find the same interest as me, where you could pretty much go anywhere on the planet and black men are doing like everything. From skiing to racing cars to playing golf. I don't know, man. Maybe you haven't been privy. Let's just say you've been on another planet for the past, I don't know, 60 years. So you're not privy to the way black women, your sistren, speak about black men. Maybe that's what has happened. Maybe you weren't on this planet for the past 60 years. So you don't understand why black men are responding to black women in need of aid the way they are. Maybe you haven't been here, so that's why you don't understand it. Right? You got shot off into space somewhere in the mid or early 50s and you know, and that's really 70 years ago, but okay, go figure. Right? And Michael Ross, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. Yeah. And something that Gigi also was stressing, if you want egalitarianism, equality in the society, it's not only the positives. You have to understand you are now not under the quote unquote protection of men writ large, not just black men, but of men. You no longer if you no longer have to be in the house and do what your man says and do what the men in society say, right? This is what this is how women speak about men, especially men of yesteryear. If you're no longer under these men's quote unquote umbrella and protection, then that also means that harm can come your way just as easily as it does men. Oh, I'm a woman, I'm smaller. Fine. Harm can come your way just as easily as it comes to men who are a little bit smaller and petite and svelte. It can come your way too. Yes, you don't get to be safe from harm just like the men aren't safe from harm just because you're a woman. Dear women, you don't get to pick and choose between egalitarianism and patriarchy. In a patriarchal order, men knew better than to harm random women because you don't know who that person's father is. You don't know who that person's husband is. You don't know who that person's brother is. Women said, yeah, screw the umbrella, screw the patriarchy, screw man. Just don't do it because it's not right. And you're absolutely right. To those women, you are absolutely right. It isn't right to harm and target women just because they're women or just because they come in smaller packages for the ones that do. Too easy, Z. Leave that one alone. Yeah, right. Just because they have 20% less muscle mass, etc., etc. You are absolutely correct. You shouldn't be targeted for these reasons. And the men that break laws and the men that don't care do not care. Now what? And to expect random men who don't know you or who barely know you crap, who do know you, to put their life on the line for you, to put their well-being and safety on the line for you, just because you're a woman, is to actually fly in the face and go against what women have been fighting for since second wave feminism. You don't get to be damsel in distress woman when you want to be, and I am woman, hear me roar when you want to be. You don't get to be strong and independent when you want to be, and then damsel in distress when you want to be. It doesn't work that way. This is not about jobs. This is not about equal pay for equal work. This is not about voting or being able to run for office or hold a high position at any space of work. This is about random men protecting random women because those random women are women. Huh. The femtacity of it all. Or should we say femdacity of it all? The femdacity of it all. Y'all heard it here first. You literally had the ovaries to say what you said the way you said it. No irony in your speech whatsoever. No sarcasm. No nothing. You meant it. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. So, going forward, now we're learning more and more. This is why I say let them talk. This is why I say the internet will expose us all. She said something very important here. I shouldn't have to be kind. I shouldn't have to be polite. It's your job as a man to be willing to jump in harm's way in a moment where I feel fearful, in a moment when I feel threatened. That's your job. Right? That's your job. So what if 5 minutes ago I was looking down my nose at you? So what if 5 minutes ago I was belittling you and condescending, and so what? So what if I'm mean? So what if I always have the resting bee face? So what? Right? So what? And as I said before, I refuse to call these people masculine. These women aren't acting masculine. They're acting like petulant children. They're 28 and 35 and 42 and 47 and 55-year-old petulant children. And they still want you to protect them when they feel like they need protecting. Compassion College just came out and said it. They think we're dumb. They really do. They, if you listen to these women speak, the brothers that they think are the more enlightened brothers are the FD signifiers, the placators, right? The ones that when you critique or criticize something, you got to smile and laugh it off and kind of put it in a joking form. The ones that tone police themselves. Yeah, they think we're dumb. These women think we're big dumb apes. The only thing we have going for us is the 20% more muscle mass, the speed, right? They're the smart ones, right? Y'all heard y'all aunts and y'all moms say it. I'm the neck, and I turn the head where I want it to go. Yeah, he might be the head, or I let him lead. Okay, I let him feel like he's leading. The ones that's really bold about it, right? Yeah, they think we're big dumb apes, and your job is to do what she says. Ain't that right, Tanya TKO? Because in a feminist world order, in a female led world, none of these things would be happening. None of them. Oh no. Right? And Eric Deadman says, and this is hysterical. So what if I called you a bullet bag, conquered, and worthless? I still demand you protect me. Literally. Or to do one better. I got one better for you, Eric. If you don't, quote unquote, protect me in a time of need, then you only prove everything I said. If you want to disprove all these negative stereotypes I lob onto you, then you'll do what I say. And then maybe I'll reconsider. Literally, Chrissy said something like this a couple months ago. Literally. Literally, Chrissy said something like this, and the video's still up on her channel a couple months ago. Essentially, one of those I'll be the judge of that. Right? Yeah. These people really do think that that was actually a really good comment, compassionate. They really do think we're dumb. And all you can contribute is good pipe, um, whatever you can muster up working, right? And to make her feel secure in your presence. That's your job. Don't talk too much because that's for women. Like we done reverse the role, the world upside down. Don't talk too much. That's for women. Don't give your opinion. That's for women. Don't be too articulate. We're gonna question your sexuality because that's for women. We're gonna chastise you about not being emotionally intelligent, but if you are, then we're gonna question your sexuality because once again, that's for women. We're really gaslighting you with the emotional intelligence talk. We don't actually believe that, right? We actually are kind of attracted to the slower men, the less articulate men, right? Hmm. She said that. So shout out to Angry Man. We're about to end out. Shout out to Angry Man. Um, and yeah, this was a great clip. It was really short. She got right to the point, right? Or if Angry Man kind of edited it and got to the good part, but either way. Oh boy, Detroit! I am so tired of this misrepresented quote. The whole Malcolm said black women are the least protected and most disrespected, the most disrespected and least protected. And oh boy, your sons are getting murdered in the streets on camera by the state, and you want to talk about black women being the least protected. At one point, almost 10% of black men were incarcerated. One third of black men are convicted felons in America, and you want to talk about disrespect. What's more disrespectful than this society saying, Negro, we will catch you on anything and we will make sure you're a convicted felon. That way you can't get a job worth a damn. I mean, you could drive trucks. There's things you can do to make some money, but for the most part, we done blocked off just about every road for you to be that provider and protector this nagging ass woman wants you to be and needs you to be. What's more disrespectful than that? These are the same people that are expanding your understanding. They don't understand how many different ways this society disrespects black men on a daily. What's more disrespectful than turning black women against black men? What is a worse feeling of not being protected when the same woman you lay in bed with thinks that another group of men are better than you? The slavers and colonists of the planet are better than you. You want to talk about disrespectful? Black men aren't going to Italy to be passport bros. You want to talk about disrespectful? Black men go to places where there's darker and melanated women to be passport bros. Where do black women go? To Italy and Europe. You want to talk about disrespectful, right? You want to talk about disrespectful. You want to talk about unprotected. Using a child as a weapon against a father, both practicing parental alienation and using that child as an ATM to get money out the father. How is that protecting that father? You want to talk about a lack of protection? You need to expand the way you think of words. There's some nuance that needs to be said here. There's some nuance that needs to be expressed. Right? Huh. Y'all use that Malcolm quote once again out of context. Malcolm was not talking about black men. What were your mothers, grandmothers doing? Really, grandmothers and great grandmothers. What were they doing in the 50s and the 60s? Especially the ones in the South. Being domestics, being in the home with who? Oh, crap, white men. Uh oh. Who was disrespecting them? Hmm. Who kept them unprotected? Yikes. The same white men y'all turn around and try to throw in black men's faces. You want to talk about disrespected. Most unprotected and disrespected. Imagine the group of people that spent a good 20 some odd years on talk shows, at least a good decade, right? Let's say a decade and a half if we want to be super kind and generous, but a decade and a half or so going on in talk shows, and every chance they got, they defecate on black men. Black men are not on their level type talk. Imagine those same group of people turning around and saying they feel disrespected by you because of hip hop. Imagine people that think just because they're not calling you the N word on stage, they're calling you the N word in everything but word only. They think because they articulate themselves and can use 4 and 5 syllable words, they think they're not being disrespectful. You come straight up the middle and call them a B word, and then they compare you to white men and then deem you lacking, and they think they're not insulting you. Uh-oh. Right? They think going around the world, we outnumber black men in college 2 to 1. Black men are all in jail. They're all on the DL. When you just come up the middle and just call her a B word, she thinks she's not doing the same thing you doing. She's calling you the N word. It just takes her 3 or 4 sentences to get there. Oh, and she's calling you the N word with the hard ER, by the way. She's calling you the N word. It just took her a whole paragraph to get there. Huh. And Indigo Flow says, and thank you for the super chat, F and Z, I ain't buying groceries no more. I'm going to shame them into giving them to me for free. I need to eat. I'm a shame my landlord too. Apparently it works. I don't know if it's going to work for you though, Indigo, the whole XY chromosome thing. But apparently it works. Right? You might want to be a little sexually suggestive to your landlord also. It don't even matter if it's a man or a woman, by the way. Because remember the story, if I remember correctly, Jason Black covered it years and years and years ago, where this what do you call them? The ones that work on the apartment building and they keep it the super, right? This super at one of these apartment complexes was damn near piping all the women. And apparently a bunch of them were on Section 8 or something like that. So he was paying their little rent money for them while fixing the apartment and fixing other things. Right? Yeah. Yep. And Indigo says, you're on the DL. She's calling you the F word. Exactly. Was it a little balding Greek guy? I thought it was a brother. I thought it was a black man. Either way, that makes it a whole lot worse, by the way. Oh, boy. Yep. Right? Huh. Yeah. That's what you might want to do that. Oh, you said my landlord. Ugh. Yeah. Right? Either way, hey, Indigo, you might want to have to take one for the team. You might have to do it like how some of these sisters and other women, I'm not even going to say that's exclusively a black woman thing, right? Show a little leg. Wow. You know, Beyonce says, if I were a boy, Beyonce has that song, right? And whenever I hear that song randomly, I always think to myself, y'all really think it's sweet over here. I would never want to trade with women, ever. But y'all think it's sweet over here. You think it's cakewalk over here in the XY chromosome side of the game. Y'all wouldn't last 5 minutes. Dear ladies, you wouldn't last 5 minutes. Right? Hmm. So, on that note, everyone, we'll pause right here. I should be coming back later on tonight. We're going to review the Jimmy Dore. I'll put the link up and everything like that. We will be reviewing the Jimmy Dore Cornell West clip that's circulating. Apparently it was a 45-second, excuse me, 45-minute interview. I can't find all of it. Right, I'm scouring the YouTube streets. I'm gonna see if I can find the whole thing, but we will be going over the segments that we can find. Um, yeah. Shout out to Cornell West. Um, for schooling. Look, Mr. Z used to watch Jimmy Dore, and it's crazy. Like I said, I don't. It's just something don't sit right with your spirit, and you just kind of fall off, right? And you stop. I used to listen to Jimmy Dore, and about 2.5-ish years ago, 3-ish years ago, I was just like, and it wasn't even so much of a conscious thought as like, I don't know if I'm really, you know, if the message is really for me anymore, right? Oh yeah, Detroit. I've seen the story. It's almost no reason to cover it. Like, dude done apparently beat on the wife before she stayed. Um, or was that another woman before the black wife? We don't even know. Then homegirl over here being the most loyal side chick ever. You got to give it to her on that one. But wait a minute, maybe not, because apparently she's done this with a whole lot of police officers, and she was in the military, and oh god, the story is just she over here arguing with the wife on social media, looking really desperate and cringy, and trying to save face at the same time. And I don't even want to say nothing about her face. Shout out to I get it, I get it, right? Hey, there you go, Trell. The black wife with the septum ring. And they're gonna even say she's for the streets. He says she's for the jurisdiction. Oh, she ain't for the congregation. She ain't for the streets. She for the universe, player. Not even the galaxy. Oh man, she's for the multiplicity, bro. Man, hey, that's crazy. I thought all you DC natives and stuff were big enough PG County. It looked like y'all got some ratchetry going on over there too. I thought headquarters was supposed to be, pristine and nice with all the hoity-toity and nose in the air sisters, all the super highly educated sisters. Apparently not. Charles says it was. Charles Irby says it was Latino men who recorded it too. Oh man. Trust and forget universe, multiverse. She's out here for the multiverse. Meaning different versions of you could catch her, right? Man. And in that world, they're talking about lack of protection. And in that world, man, in that world, bro. That's crazy. That world, that's the world they're talking about being disrespected. Lady, you got caught hopping in and out of a cop car with a married white man. And this is after the story of the white cop that deleted the black single mother who he was having relations with because he was married. But she had three, four kids. He ended up deleting her and just throwing it out there. My guess is she probably tried to pull one of those "I'm pregnant" on him. Right. Just throwing a guess out there. Huh. It is funny when he says that. And Indigo says, "These hoes for the mainframe, dog." Roguish voice. Right? For real. Wow, Trell. Son found her, and I think she was preggo. So I guess that's what it was, right? And you imagine, this is why you got to be careful with certain things you do, man. That's going to be scarring for your son forever, for the rest of his life. Your son will be replaying in his mind that he walked in to the body, the unalive body of his mother. And under further investigation is because his mother was sleeping around with a married white police officer. Wow. Wow. How are we supposed to protect that young lady? What can black men do with that? Protect who? Protect the little boy? Protect the single mother who want to be free and fast and go messing around with a married white man? White police officer? Y'all seen the videos? The second there's any type of dance, any type of anything, festival, right? Carnival, especially the Caribbean carnival. Look, Caribbean sisters can't wait to wind up and turn up and twerk on a white police officer. Oh, they can't wait. Coming to a carnival near you. Any white officer anywhere. How many videos of it? It don't matter where the carnival is in the U.S. They turning up on the white officer. Man, and then talk about a lack of protection. Okay, yeah, that's it. Talking about disrespectful, being disrespected. Yeah, that's it. We're the ones disrespecting you, right? Not the video of you over here twerking on the white cop, right? Then we check that white cop's record and beat up a black man, harassed a black woman, got suspended for this, got suspended for that. Look like racism over here, look like racism over there because it is racism. And here your fast dumbass come twerking on the white officer. Okay, yeah, that's it. The outspoken introvert said every Labor Day in Brooklyn. Bruh, I promise you. You know what it is? They speak like they're the only ones that have eyes, right? Like the rest of the world can't see what's going on. The video of the young lady talking about how horrible white people are and they smell like dogs and this and this and that, and she have a whole white boyfriend. It was white people in the comments flaming her. They're the ones who were saying predictable. It was white. Yes, black brothers were in there too. Black men were in there also. Duh. But it was so many white men and white women in the comments. Oh, this is predictable. Oh, she got a white boyfriend. Of course, this always happens. It was white people. Dear black women, they see you. They know, right? White society knows. All you black feminists that's secretly feeding over white men while you criticize black men or white men, white society know. Those white women see you coming to take their sons. They know. And they know why you over there. And I'll end out with this. The Canadian black woman who quarantined with her white boyfriend. I've mentioned this story a couple of times. Tariq covered it. Quarantined with her white boyfriend at his parents' home. Parents being all nice and smiley with her. They go upstairs. The boyfriend asks her to go back downstairs, get his phone charger cord. She's sneaking around looking for it, and overhears the parents pretty much saying, I hope he do what he got to do with her, but don't think he gonna bring her home. Don't think he gonna marry her." Dear black women, not just the mother, the father was on that. Shout out to all you black women. Oh, I have so much nicer experiences with white men. Why aren't you still with one? Uh-oh. When I date white men, I feel like they get me, they get my humor, they get my comedy, they understand me. We have similar interests. White men are just so much nicer. Why aren't you with one now? Uh-oh. Y'all don't know how many I said it before. Y'all don't know how many white parents and white grandparents and white uncles and aunts. I always use the cars as the reference, right? Oh, such and such. Oh, yeah, he liked my classic Mustang. Tell him he can't have it if he's still with that inward girl. Oh, he thought he was going to get granddad's house. Not anymore. Not if he's going to have a bunch of insert pejorative mixed children comment right here. Right? Y'all think it's not a thing in the 21st century. All right. Just a few years ago, y'all saw all those young white dudes dressed like Trump talking about Jews will not replace us, you will not replace us, and saying the N-word. That was a whole bunch of 20-something year olds and late teens, 19, 18, 20 something. You keep on thinking, oh no, we don't live in that world anymore. Ashley Acuna over here so surprised that all a bunch of young men. Why are you surprised? If y'all don't know who Ashley Acuna is, it was the host of The Grapevine. That used to be the host of The Grapevine. Shout out to Ashley. I don't know why y'all think that racism is an old man's game. White supremacy is an old man's game. Meanwhile, Dylan Roof, buddy from New York, the one over here in Jacksonville, all under the age of 25. Okay. Anyway, on that note, Jay Stone says, and thank you for the super chat. Your take yesterday was historic. We are just beginning to see the start of universal commodification of black boogeyman. And I say, much to black women's detriment also. This is going to hurt black men. if it sticks the way we think it will, yes, it will hurt black men, and it will hurt the same black women and their daughters that put that rhetoric out there, right? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. And on that note, everyone, we will pause right here. And Michael Ross says she went downstairs to get the charger and overheard his parents saying that. Yeah. Even was it Chrissy? Even Chrissy, when she wasn't as extreme as she is now, she even covered a story. Was it her? Or was it Tariq? I want to say it was Chrissy, but it could have been Tariq. This is years ago, y'all. Um, I want to say it was Chrissy, but it could have been Tariq. One of them covered a story of a black woman saying, she's with a white man, and her homegirls her and her other two black homegirls that also have white boyfriends gotta go into to a coffee shop or somewhere and kind of have one of those goddamn this racism is tough talk because they're all of their white boyfriends ain't trying to hear it. You gotta hide this thing about yourself. And if it was Chrissy, if I remember correctly, because this was years ago, Chrissy said something like, "Oh, that's so sad. Like y'all can't even be black." Right? All of you are with white dudes, and all of you can't be really black or talk about black issues or how things affect you as a black woman because you're a black woman. And these are the same people that speak negatively about black men and how inept black men are. When your white boyfriend don't want to hear you express how things affect you differently than him, not just because you're a woman, but because you're black. Yikes. Wait for it, wait for it. So are you saying he lacks emotional intelligence? Well, damn, Z. Right? And on that note, everyone, we'll end out right here. And Compassionate says, is it me or have the spaces live viewers have beat have been higher than usual? I know you meant to say higher than usual. Um, my numbers are pretty the same ish, kind of, sort of, right? Well, Bill Burr and Nia is more real, right? Bill Burr and Nia are more. Bill Burr was willing to drive to the goddamn or take the train to the hood, to Harlem, right? That's a different type of story. The Bill Burrs, I'm not gonna say that he's not gonna ever say something wayward. We know eventually the white guys got to put they're gonna put their foot in their mouth about race eventually. But when I look at certain people, when I look at the Paul Walls and the Bill Burrs, and even what's his face, god damn, what's his face? Y'all know who I'm talking about. The singer who was married to a black woman, got divorced, and married another black woman. God damn, this is what I do, right? Why am I forgetting his name and his freaking face and the songs are right there? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Anyway, R&B singer. Y'all know who. Somebody's gonna say it eventually. Yeah, I look at them as just a smidge different, just a teeny tiny teeny bit. Now Robin Thicke, definitely not. Right. High art, my bad, but yeah, not Robin Thicke. The Babyface The one that Babyface signed years ago. Forgot. 90s, right? Anyway, we'll figure it out later. Yeah, so yeah. These are the yeah, I look at Nia and Bill Burr and all of that. I look at that a little different. John B. Thank you, Longo. And thank you, Outspoken. Let's see, now it's popping up. Outspoken John B. John B. John B. Thank you. Yeah. I look at that a little different. That's a little different. But yeah, all the rest of these sisters ain't getting those type of white dudes for the most part. That's not the type of white dudes they get. They don't yeah. That's not the white dudes they get. They because that's not the white dudes they really want, right? What they really want is like um Bartholomew the Third because they want the lifestyle, right? They want the lifestyle. So yeah. Charles said Bill Burr wife is pseudo pro black feminist. I get those vibes. Every once in a while when he would have her speak on his show, yeah, when he would be streaming, yeah, I got those vibes. I got those vibes. All right. So on that note, everybody, we will pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. We should be coming back later on tonight with a live panel. We will be, like I said, covering the Cornell West and Jimmy Dore conversation, the portion that we can actually find. Yeah. Shout out to Dr. Cornell West. Yeah, that was cakewalk. My God. Hey, Jimmy, you ain't ish. We will be using profanity later on tonight. You ain't ish for that ending. That ending was so petty. And I thought that's not how you treat a guest. But you know. Right. But yeah, Cornell handled him. And that's why I'm careful with some of these talking points. That whole playing down race thing that both the left and the right does, because the left tries to be like, what about class? Class or Trump race. Okay. And the right does the well. Right now they're doing the manhood Trump's race. Our collective plight for being men Trump's race. Okay, yeah, that's it. Right. God Trump's race. Everything Trump's race for them on the right too. So yeah. Anyway, on that note, we will pause right here. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content for the love of God. So y'all don't sound like this young lady over here attempting to shame black men. That shaming framing was horrible. Anyway, and y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Mr. Z out.